Hello, low ego action heroes. This is Debbie Levitt from deltacx.com, and a question I get sometimes is, hey Deb, the bootcamp websites that I've been looking at make it look like people who work in UX make amazing salaries. I can't wait to make that money. When am I going to make that money? Well, okay, thing one, many of the bootcamp websites that I've looked at, and of course I haven't seen all of them, but I've normally noticed that they are using senior level salaries. So very often in UX there are levels to jobs. There's junior/associate, which is your entry level job. Then there's what we call mid-level, and then you become a senior. So that's usually about 5 years of experience or more. So that means that money you saw on that bootcamp website was probably a senior job, especially if it was over $100,000 a year. Not only is that a senior level job, so 5 or more years of experience, but that's probably in one of the technology centers of your country or your region. That might have been San Francisco, New York City, Los Angeles, things like that. In Europe, the salaries are much lower. Outside of some big American cities, the salaries are much lower. So I think in many cases, some of these boot camps are going with a best case scenario for a senior level salary for some of the higher paid cities in America. So that's not going to be your starting salary. And depending upon where you live, I don't know when that's going to be your salary. So be careful. The other thing that I want to point out is that I've noticed the last couple of years that salaries for CX and UX appear to be dropping. I think this is because some years ago there was a huge demand for people to work in UX. There weren't that many qualified specialists, and so hey, more jobs than people started getting paid much better because we were hard to find. And I was one of those people, though, I can't say I've retired off of it, but I had some good years there. Unfortunately, now that we've got all these boot camps and certificates and programs, we've got a huge supply of people. All of a sudden, there's this many jobs and this many people. And that has caused a different shift. I've noticed salaries starting to go down. And I also think that at companies, when we teach people at workplaces things like everybody's a designer or just do design thinking, where, hey, just put everybody in a room with some sticky notes and we're all innovating and designing the product. Well, then why do we need UX? Is UX that special? Can't anybody do this job? That has made companies lower the value of UX. And so I would say for a few reasons, I'm seeing salaries come down. I think they'll go back up, but I think it's going to take a few years for us to get out of some of the holes we've dug for ourselves in accidentally making it seem like anybody can do our work, just come sketch screens, or anybody can make decisions in our world, anybody can get a bootcamp certificate because there's no standards to get in or graduate. So I'm seeing salaries drop. So I would say in general, don't necessarily believe the salaries that you're seeing on a bootcamp website. These might not be current, and these probably are definitely not entry-level salaries for where you live. You can research those things by looking at Glassdoor. You can find some people on LinkedIn who maybe work at the level that you're thinking of and see if they're comfortable sharing their salaries, but there probably aren't. I would say, ask recruiters and hiring managers what you can expect to make, but sometimes salaries for entry level might be in the $40,000-ish in America, maybe in the 30,000 pounds universe in England, but I am just guessing, and this is going to change as time goes. So again, I would say please don't believe them. And also, if you're thinking about getting into UX just because it looks like a money maker, I would say work with a mentor or coach and see if UX is right for you, because I would say very often the people who come into it with that attitude or mindset are not necessarily poised for long-term success in our career, because our career is really, really difficult. Difficult to learn, difficult to do, and full of conflict at our jobs. And so make sure you're ready for all that and you're not just chasing the big money that you're seeing on some of these sites. So on that note, hopefully that helps answer some questions. And won't you please usability test the subscribe button and join us here in the Delta CX channel. Empathize with the like button. Let the YouTube algorithm know you liked it. Join us in Slack if you have any questions. deltacx.link, my URL shortener, /join Slack, all one word and lowercase. Thanks a lot and see you in the next video.